Hey everyone, welcome to Exit and Emergency, episode 11. I'm Exit Sign 250, and as usual, I got some new stuff to show off in this one, so let's begin. Here I am in my room. Above my door, I have a Light Alarms Quickie exit sign. It's AC only, red lettering, it's LED. These were actually branded by three different companies. One of them was Light Alarms, obviously. Another company was Emergy Light, and Emergy Light and Light Alarms basically share products. They both sell the exact same stuff, and they've done that for a long time. But the last company to offer these, they actually were the original creators and manufacturers of this exit sign and a few other products, was called Dynaray. And Light Alarms, Emergy Light, and Dynaray were all owned by a company called Koffel at the time, and Koffel wanted Dynaray to produce these for Emergy Light and Light Alarms. So all three of those companies sold this sign and a combo and an emergency light. So anyway, but there's a lot of different name variations out there of this exit sign. I always like these. I think they look pretty cool. These were actually recalled. They were recalled if you had a red lettering model wired to 277 volts AC. They could catch on fire. But the green models wouldn't do that, and if you had a red model and wired it to 120 volts AC, it's just fine. I think they just decided to recall the series altogether. These exit signs were around in the 1990s, and that was kind of when LED technology was new to the lighting market, especially the exit sign and emergency light industry. So LEDs really weren't the best. They were kind of dim and they failed often. And with these exit signs, they were very notorious for having bad LEDs that would get dim quickly, and they wouldn't last that long or just would fail. So a lot of them that you see, if they are an LED model, look bad. So that's the only unfortunate thing with them. These were also offered in incandescent and fluorescent, but I've never seen either of those before. I've only ever seen these exit signs in LED. I got this exit sign brand new in the box, and it's not often that I show the boxes of my exit signs and emergency lights, but I wanted to show this one because I thought it was pretty neat. You can see there's the exit sign, the Quickie, emergency exit sign, snap lock design for quick installation, the UL marking. There's the Light Alarms logo, which I've always liked, and then another Light Alarms logo. There's the sign again. Here's what Quickie stands for, if you want to pause and read it, and some more information. And then here's the side of it, the Quickie, made in Canada, and some other stuff. This exit sign I thought was battery backup when I bought it. You can clearly see it's AC only, but the box says it was battery backup, and kind of weird, but there's some other options you could get with the sign. Let's take a look on the inside. Hopefully I can do this one-handed without breaking anything or dropping stuff. There we go. So here we are. Look at all of the LEDs. It's a lot. And again, this sign's brand new, so it's still pretty bright. But again, most you see today are very dim if they're still installed. There's the transformer, some of the wiring connections, the circuit board, and this is a jumper where the battery, AC light, and test button would plug in if you had one, which with these exit signs you could go in later and add all that stuff if you wanted to, even if it's AC only, because the circuit board was the same in both the AC only models and the battery backup models, which is kind of interesting. Moving on from this sign, we come over to a combo. And if you look at the exit sign part, it might look familiar. That's because it's identical to this one. The only difference is, well, for one, it's a combo, and two, it's green. But also, this one is by Emergy Light, and they called it the Escort. They, again, sold the exact same sign, emergency light, and combo as Light Alarms did. But the only difference is the names. So these were the Escorts, and those were the Quickies. They look nice. They're really bulky, though. This is what the emergency lights look like, and they pretty much took an exit sign and screwed it into an emergency light and connected the two together. You might have noticed that the sign is really dim, and like I was saying earlier, with LED technology being so bad back in the day, the green LEDs were especially worse. This exit sign is so dim it almost looks off. I don't know how these were approved to be installed. There's not really a lot of light in here. I have 2 spotlights for filming, but it shouldn't look this dim. We'll go ahead and give it a quick test. The design of this is actually kind of awkward since it's literally an emergency light screwed into an exit sign. And there's the test button, which you kind of have to put your finger between the sign and the emergency light to get to. But it's pretty bright for an incandescent emergency light. I think they're really decent. Here we are on the inside of the Escort combo. You can see it's pretty much identical to the Quickies internals. There's the transformer again, the circuit board. Instead of the jumper, well, there still is a jumper, but there's a wire that goes back up to the emergency light. And you can notice in this one that there's 2 sets of LED strips. That's because the green LEDs were that horrible, they needed 2 of them. And this part wasn't planned in the video, I actually just noticed it. But there's 2 LEDs that aren't working on the light strip. And that's really concerning because this exit sign has only been installed, as of me recording this video, it's only been powered on for maybe 3 months straight. And considering exit signs are installed for a very long time, that's really not good. And again, it kind of makes me mad because this sign's also brand new and it already has 2 LEDs that don't work. So anyway, that's the inside of this. One other thing I'll mention about this combo is it has expanded runtime and remote capacity, but I don't have any remote heads connected, so it's just going to be lasting longer in a power outage. And actually, the setup I have installed for this episode was in a power outage. It was a couple months ago, and it lasted maybe 2 hours, and this combo survived the whole thing. Let's move on to the other side of my room, where we have an emergency light. And it might also look familiar if you look at the lamp head design, and that's because it was also a part of the same line as the exit sign and combo I just showed you. This is the EmergiLight ECS2, and it was designed as a low-profile emergency light. This is what the normal emergency light looked like. This is just an older broken one I have, and EmergiLight, Light Alarms, and Dynaray sold these. Although I do like them, I think I like the low-profile version a little bit more. I think it has a good design to it, and it's not as bulky compared to this one. And I'll pick this one up and show you a size difference. And you can see, yeah, this one's huge compared to the smaller ECS2. I've never seen a Light Alarms or Dynaray branding on this emergency light, but I assume it exists since those other 2 companies also made this emergency light, the exit sign, and the combo. We'll go ahead and give it a test. I press the test button, and again, it's decently bright as well. I like it. Now we'll go ahead and cut the power off to my room and simulate a power outage. With the lights out, let's see how the units are doing. So with the Escort combo, the emergency light again is decently bright. It's lighting up the space. But actually the exit sign got a little bit dimmer, which isn't good because it's already dim, and you have these 2 bright spotlights above it that make it even harder to see. But anyway, so the right head is adjusted to point at my door, and it lights up quite nicely, and it lights up the Quickie a little bit too, so you can see it even if it's not on since it's AC only. Walking over here, this space is lit up, and I have that head adjusted so it lights this area. And we'll walk to the other side of my room where the ECS2 is installed. Again, same brightness as the combo, and it lights up this area again completely so I can see what I'm doing, and I can walk this way to get around my room. So again, it's really nice. I think this one looks cool in emergency mode. So yeah. Well, that's all that's going on in my bedroom. Let's check out the next room and see what I have installed. Moving on into this room, we have a generic exit sign combo. It's originally manufactured by a Chinese company called Jimming, and this particular sign is rebranded by a company called Design Lighting. I don't like generic stuff. I don't really like this combo for its performance, but I do like its design. I like the green lettering with black housing. Really any exit sign that has that color scheme looks good in my opinion, even if it's a brand name or a Chinese brand. It has LED exit lettering and incandescent emergency light heads, and as per usual gymming, they don't put any reflectors in their heads, so it's not bright in emergency mode. I'll go ahead and give it a test to prove that, and it might look bright on camera, but in real life it's horrible, and when I cut the power later to this room, we'll see how bad it actually is. A neat feature with this combo is actually the emergency light lamp heads. You can swivel them above the combo if you want to, or kind of have them in the middle like I do, or on the side. Jimming stole this idea from another Chinese generic manufacturer called Yuyao Lixin. I actually showed some of their combos in a previous exit and emergency video, but it's the same concept. You can have the emergency light head adjusted at a bunch of different angles compared to most combos, so that helps out when adjusting. You have more flexibility, and you can put it in more tighter installations. I mentioned this earlier, but I really like the green lettering, black housing appearance of this exit sign, and some of my longtime fans might remember, but I used to call this combo the Starbucks combo because every Starbucks coffee shop you'd go into would have a green lettering, black housing exit sign, which I think is a good match for their stores. Let's go ahead and open this combo up to see the internals. This one actually has a broken snap over there. And if we take it off, here's the inside. You have two green LED strips, which are much brighter than the Emergency Light Escort combo we looked at earlier. Here's the battery, which is just a standard 6-volt lead acid, the transformer, some wiring connections, and the circuit board. We are now in emergency mode, and let's see the performance of the generic combo. This right head points down here. It's not really that bright, it's just dim. It might look bright on camera, but it's really not. And the left head points to the center of the room, which is still dim, and for some reason it more lights up right underneath it than in the center of the room, but that's just because there's no reflectors in the emergency light heads. They're pretty dim. You can easily look right into them, and they aren't bright at all. If I walk to the back of the room, it just gets darker and darker until you just can't see anything. So really not the best combo. That's basically what you get if you don't put reflectors in the emergency light heads. Just a bad performing emergency light, or in this case combo, but either way I do like the design of it. Not that that's good because the performance of it's bad, but anyways, at least the exit lettering's still bright. So that's all that's in here. We have reached the end of episode 11 of Exit and Emergency. Let me know what you thought of this one, and tell me what your favorite unit was that you saw. Well, that's all I have. Thanks again for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.